Welcome back to week 9 of the 5k improvement series. So today we've got a no nonsense session. It's coming to crunch time now. In the last couple of weeks it's 5 times 1 kilometre, 2-minute walk recovery, and 10 to 15 minutes to warm up, 10 to 15 minutes to cool down. So the only thing I'll say with that is the recoveries feel a little bit long for me to get a real good indication of where I'm at before goal race. I contemplated dropping the recovery walk down to 60 minutes or 60 seconds or 90 seconds, but I'm just going to stick with the plan because it served me well up to now. That's what it suggests, so that's what I'm going to do. Faith in the plan. So weirdly, I'm quite looking forward to this because if you watched last week's episode or the last couple of weeks, my confidence has taken a bit of a dip, and I'm hoping this session gets me back on track and makes me realise what is possible come race day, a week Saturday. So the weather's not great. It's like weather warning territory for rain. There's been loads of weather warnings the last few days or the last week or so. The path's not proper flooded, but I think there's a 1k stretch on the path which I use for my sessions, which is not flooded. I think I'll just have to do like 50 meters of flood to finish the rep. So that's about it really. It's 5:05. I've just finished work. I need to get in my running kit and get out and get this session cracked out, and I'm hoping you'll have a very confident Sean doing a bit of a recap of the session and how it went. Absolutely smashed that, no doubt about it. You get ready for these numbers. Ran it with a coat on and stepped in so many puddles. I had to avoid that long straight I was talking about because it's absolutely flooded. When I did the recce of the route, dripping everywhere. Look at that. When I did the recce of like the 1k straight, it was all flooded, and I ended up running through a massive ankle deep flooded bit. I don't know how many times I've said flooded. Gareth, I saw Gareth on the path. He did warn me not to go down there, but I wanted to see how much of it was. Absolutely flooded. It was absolutely sheeted, exactly the same as the other night, probably heavier. My vapor flies are absolutely drenched, squelching. That's how wet they were. However, you wait to hear these splits. So first K, you know the score. Always a bit of a tester to gauge how I'm feeling. 3:48. So went quite steady, and I was 3:48. I knew I was in for a good one. Next rep, 3:42. Again, really happy with that, considering all the route was around the estate. Had to stop at like junctions a little bit to see if cars would come in. It was all safe. There was dog walkers, had to run around them. Anyway, 3:42. 3:38 was rep 3. 3:43 was rep 4. 3:51 was rep 5. Absolutely chuffed to bits for that. The difference, what clipped on the second rep was stride length and power. Just running, proper opening the stride. I felt really powerful. Haven't felt that before in a long time anyway. So that made me feel quite comfortable in the actual rep. I wasn't absolutely dying because my legs and my muscles felt like they were doing the work. So mega chuffed to that. Confidence is absolutely sky high. It's a complete contrast to how I was feeling the last couple of weeks. I'm absolutely buzzing, and I feel very, very confident about getting a really good time a week Saturday. I don't know what the time is yet, because it's the first attempt at anything sub 20. Obviously that's got to be the A goal. I don't know if this is going to work out. A goal sub 20, B goal sub. So I don't want to promise too much based on how I'm feeling right now, but the A goal's got to be sub 20 because I haven't done it yet, and that's what it's all about. So hopefully I can start off with that pace and then kick on. Right, thanks for tuning in. I don't know if that made any sense, but I'm absolutely buzzing. That's all you need to take away from that. And I'll see you later in the week for probably the tempo session. Although, you know, they're my nemesis and I don't like them, so we'll see what happens. Also, real quick one, I'm doing the cycle commute tomorrow. Shout out to Dan, my brother, for giving me the bike on a long-term lend. I've set it up for my commuting, so I've got my little pouch here with all the puncture kit and stuff in there. That's where my phone's going to go for a bit of music and answer phone calls and stuff. Got my lock, got my big pannier bag with my like change of clothes and stuff in it, and the pannier rack which I've fitted to the bike. Got my lights as well and my bell. Absolutely buzzing with that. Can't wait to go on a bit of an adventure tomorrow for my cycle commute, my first one. So if I remember at the end of the week, I'll let you know how it went and if it's a sustainable way to get to work. So it's the Wednesday after the weekend. Few misdemeanors towards the end of the week, so I'll walk through them one by one. I am at risk of rambling on here. So the day after I've just filmed the last bit, Wednesday, I did the first cycle commute and we had loads of rain, as you saw from the footage and what I was talking about with the path being flooded. And I work in like around Tewkesbury sort of area, and that is at massive risk, or it's really prone to flooding. And I didn't know that, or it wasn't at the forefront of my mind. So when I left, I was more concerned about the train going to work and not missing that, making sure that was running, versus the train coming back. So it turns out after the day, looked at the train times, and all the trains started to, there was reduced services anyway running from Tewkesbury, but then a lot of them cancelled as the day went on. So got to like 4 o'clock. I was like looking at the trains, and then there was none going from Tewkesbury, so I had to find an alternative station to leave from. So I had to cycle, or plan a route to cycle to Cheltenham and then get a train back from Cheltenham through Bristol Parkway home. It just turned into a long old journey, and not the most confident cyclist. Haven't done a lot of it. I don't even know if I could cycle 20k after a full day's work in the dark and new bike and all that, but ended up doing it. So chuffed to get it done. And I said to Izzy, it's been a long time since I've been put in a position where the problem's quite complex and there's not a lot of solutions other than getting on with it and start to make your journey home and play the percentages. Because if I got to Cheltenham, I know it's quite a busy station, and then that way I could find an onward train. I didn't know how long it would take me to get to Cheltenham, so I couldn't plan when exactly the train would be, but I got there and it all worked out. So then, completely unrelated, Thursday, the following day from the horrific train commute, just had a start, didn't feel right all day. Felt like I was coming down with something. Bear in mind it's Ariane Wen's second week in nursery at this point. And then early evening started to get a bit of a sore throat, which is usually like a sign of something more is on the way. And then had a horrific night. Ended up having to call in sick on Friday to rest because I was hit massively with some kind of virus. I had a real piercing, splitting headache, and just couldn't function. So it was Friday morning, and then it sort of had two waves. So the first wave was like Friday morning, Friday, and I felt like towards like Friday evening I was on my way, on the mend, to getting better. And then Saturday morning woke up, felt okay, didn't feel like absolutely 100%, but felt okay, so did parkrun. And then Saturday lunchtime started to feel not well again, like had a bit of a temperature, headache, and then all the other sore throat, started a bit of a cough. So yeah, that was Saturday night, Sunday on the mend, and then back into work Monday. So although I did the cycle commute and did parkrun, didn't really get any other bits of running done. So yeah, the recovery process and the return to running after this is completely different to what I was a few weeks ago with the cold or whatever it was, because this just definitely feels much stronger and more intense, and definitely affecting more of my body. But that's that. So it's Wednesday of week 10, race week, but I'll go into what's going on this week in the next episode. So if you want to know what's happening and what's happened the week of the race, then tune into the next one to find out. So what you can look forward to on week 10's vlog is another cycle commute. Have I learnt my lessons for the cycle commute from this week? The national running show's on the Saturday. We're doing a parkrun away day for that, and just so happens that is my race day parkrun PB attempt. Will I get sub 20? Will I get under 19 minutes 45? Tune in next week to find out.